All right, guys, we are live. Um, the 2118 season is over. We're in the playoffs. It was a good run. Um, I liked it this season. There's a lot of competition. We're going to start on our conference and talk about it, and we'll jump to the other one. But what'd you guys think of it, by the way, this season?
Oh,
I mean, it
I
was
had I had a lot of fucking fun, man. I mean, I was kind of looking through it, and we scored 481 points this season, and that's the most we've scored since 460 in the 2090 season. So I'm really impressed with what my offense did this year, considering that I thought defense would be our stronger point this year, and offense would kind of fade out a little bit. But man, so I had a fun season, a lot of frustration, a lot of fun, but yeah, it was good.
yeah, I thought it was a very competitive season, especially in our conference. I mean, look at the top three teams. It was that one tie that set me, in third place. Um, it was fun. My defense didn't play as well as I thought they were going to, and my offense played a little better than I thought they would. So, all in all, it was a fun year.
All right, we'll go through it. We'll start my division, NC North. Arizona took the division. Congrats, Melman. We
Yeah,
came in
congrats.
second. Chicago and Iowa followed up. And being in this division, I think it's becoming more competitive. Iowa and Chicago, the GMs, I think, are getting it. They're putting their teams together. They
Yep.
are scoring points. And I see them maybe another year or two when they're now at 9-7, 10-6. And that's where I can see this being a cutthroat division. Melman, he's put together, I've seen a very good team in a short period of time and has been dominating. Good defense. That's my take. We were able to, split the division with them on losses and wins against each other. However, it's always it's always a battle between him and I. What's your take, guys, on this division?
Grim, I'll let you go first.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. I mean, I like what's coming up. I like that Jazik and Zappa are getting their shit together. This is by far Roman Tomlinson's Chicago's quarterback. His best year. I mean, 4,200 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I think, well, he lost his last three games, Clay, but I see that Pat Bankston is injured, so I'm guessing those last two games he was out
Who we
because
talking about? Who we talking about?
Pat
Chicago?
Bankston, yeah, Chicago. I'm not quite sure when he got injured, but he's out. So that might have affected his last couple games.
Yeah, because he lost the last three games. He did have
Bankston played when he played you, I know that, but
he had why is my thing? I guess I have to hit that
oh, you
thing.
probably have to restore career if you can't look him up.
Yes, I can do that right now while we're talking. Go ahead.
Um, so yeah, I like what Zappa's doing over there. I mean, again, we've mentioned that he's asking lots of questions and he's taking the advice and getting a lot of shit done with that. Um, Iowa, I kind of thought they'd do better. I mean, he beat Tucker and I don't know, but he ended up losing his last. He lost his last four games too, and that kind of kept him out. And I don't know if injuries were a part of that or anything, but he's Edwin Anthony played pretty freaking good outside of interceptions. He got sacked a lot, but yeah, that was his first year there, so he's going to need a little bit more cohesion. But yeah, I like what Jacek's got going with his team as well. He's trying to turn that around the last couple of seasons. He's got a great roster. When we talk about Melman, I mean, he's fucking king, and that team is just so good right now, just so good, and I don't see that going away for a few seasons. I know we mentioned in the forum he's got a couple of older players coming up, but yeah, with that top 10 pick he got from CMAX this year, I'm guessing he'll get a skill player that he really needs.
I know.
tight end or a wide receiver, that's going to be even more fucked.
I know.
So,
I actually thought about that because I know C-Max was saying I'm not going to give you the top 10 pick or whatever it may be. And yeah, he's going to get it.
yeah, no, I think me and Chris figured out that he's going to get pick 7. So, and it's like, if you look at his roster, he doesn't need pick 7 to add anything to that.
He has a stack roster. Look at this.
Yep.
He put together a very good team.
Yeah, 1 second, guys.
Yeah, and he's going to be, tough to fight year after year.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, and he comes from kind of that GM lineage from Rick. I know that Rick kind of gave him a lot of guidance. So Rick helped me tremendously when I was new to the game and was a real, huge part of why I can be successful. So, I'm sure the knowledge he passed on to Melman, I mean, you're seeing it. He's done a great job building that team, and you're right. He's going to be at the top of that division, being a thorn on your side, Clay, for years to come. So
Yeah, because,
he had a great season last year. He beat me in the regular season convincingly, and then I ended up beating him in the playoffs when it mattered. But I'd be interested to see how this postseason plays out. I think I'm playing somebody tomorrow. I don't know who it is, but
yeah,
whatever.
They're not very good. So you could just overlook them on your schedule. It's like you're not even fucking playing them.
Yeah, that's right. God, who was it's Jacek is the Iowa guy, is the Iowa GM.
Yep.
He's you mentioned earlier about he needs to get his cohesion up to be more successful. If you look at him right now, he's already over the cap for next year. He's used up $707 million, and the cap right now is only $633 million.
Oh, yeah. I guess he ain't out of the woods yet, is he?
No.
Wow.
No. And this year he lost $134 million. Next year he's going in losing $44 million. So he's going to have to cut more guys. And he'll never get that cohesion up until he can get his cap situated and doesn't have a constant roster turnover.
That's right.
Wow.
So I mean, the fact that he's 7-9, I mean, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's figured out a way to win a couple of games with the amount of roster turnover, but I wouldn't want to be there.
So what do you think he should do? Just get rid of everyone, get that cap straightened out, and start from ground zero and go from there?
Yes. If I were him and that was my team and I was looking at those cap numbers, I would take a huge cap hit for next year, knowing that this year is going to be terrible, and start rebuilding it from there. I mean, the one good thing about the IHOF is that the season goes so fast that you'd be able to build a team relatively quickly. And it'd be a down season, but then 3 or 4 months from now, you'd be able to recover and feel the decent team, or start to feel a decent team.
I would have to agree with you on this, and just wipe the slate clean and just says, listen, this is what I've learned. I know what kind of players I need. Get rid of everyone that you can, and start from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it would just take one season to get below the cap. Where you just cut a lot of veteran guys and keep the young guys. Try to build some cohesion.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to Chicago really quick. Chicago put up 25 points a game. Their defense gave up a lot. That's why they were where they are. The defense gave up 25 as well. And, but I can see this being very tough next season with Arizona just really, really pushing it. And then us, we're getting older in the offense. Our defense is younger.
Yeah, Clay, I just noticed he actually got a 1,000-yard runner.
Yeah, I changed my offensive game plan where I want to run, and I figured out another game plan to maybe run a little bit better. So to put teams on their heels to say, okay, Clay's not just going to pass all the time, we're going to run. As you can see, the running has helped my passing completion percentage. I think I was at 69 completion percentage.
Yeah, yep.
But I just got to get my touchdowns up. I got to stay in on the same pace as Arizona. So I need to do that.
Yeah, and all those rookies you had this year, that was actually Eichhorst's best completion percentage season. Mm-hmm. He had, 1,000 yards less than he normally does, but his touchdowns were right up about average. Not bad. But yeah, all those rookies he drafted really panned out, dude. That center, that defensive tackle, that running back. I think you really added a lot this season as far as your roster goes.
The running back I like because he gives me a route running. That's what I really liked about him.
Yeah, did he catch some passes pretty good? Can you tell? Oh, wow, you threw to him 78 times.
Yes.
Cool. Caught 58 of those. Nice.
He gave me about 1,500 all-purpose yards, which was good.
Yeah.
And the teams I lost to were the big teams: Tucker, Arizona,
Augusta, Chesapeake.
And the two teams I lost badly to was to Chesapeake and to Tucker. Everyone else was a close game that I've lost to. So let's see what next season has. But we're in the playoffs. Everything gets reset in the playoffs. I played Jugs. Last time I played Jugs, he beat me. It was, what was it? It was 30-38 at his place. And we're going back to his place again. So let's see if I can change things up. But that is our division. Let's go to the next one.
Hey, I'm going to grab some coffee quick. I'll be right back.
Good. We have Texas at 12-13. I mean 12-13, 12-3, 1. Cap City at 8-8. Moontown at 5-10, and Outer Banks at 4-12. Howie, great season for you.
Thank you.
And I've been watching your running back to see when he's going to pass. What's his name? Augusta's running back.
Ted Meza?
Yes. Let's look at this. Let me bring this to the side.
So I tied the touchdown record. Richmond had 17 touchdowns this year. So I have tied the single the career touchdown record, and Richmond is the career leader in carries. But I think the rushing title is going to elude me. T-Zac seems to think Richmond might come back for another season. I don't think he's going to. I think this is it. He signed for $20 million next year.
You're like short by like 200 and something yards. Yes.
Yeah, and this is what irritates me. I messaged Saw about this. Is there was one season a few years back when Richmond only had barely 1,000 yards. He got hurt, missed a couple of games. I got busy at work and never put him in. I think it was 21-13.
Right here.
So right there. He was hurt. I took him out. I deactivated him because he was out for a couple of weeks. And I got busy at work. And I think there was 3 weeks when he just sat on the bench. 3 games, he just sat on the bench because I didn't have time to submit a file, or I just forgot to put him back in. And that's those yards right there.
Oh, that's a killer.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because he played in 13 games and started 8. If he started all those games, there's no question in my mind he'd be the rushing leader right now. No question.
So you don't think he'll come back?
I don't. I don't know. I mean, that's his bars. The whole recognition's up there. The endurance is still there. He might. I don't know. He's his contract is for $28 million. I think only 8 of it guaranteed, something like that. So he might. I don't know.
Well, let's see. I know Saw is going to be looking out for this
Oh, I
when
know he
when
is.
when this thing hits to see all the retired. If this guy comes back, Richmond, he's taking that title.
Yes, he will. Um,
He's 35 years old. He had almost 1,700 yards at 4.65 for carry, 17 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Donaldson, now you know why you wanted to get paid, but I know you said that you didn't have the money.
right. I
28
just didn't.
touchdowns, 11 interceptions, a quarterback rating of a 93.9. What a
Yeah.
team.
This is going to be my last run at it for a little bit. Um, because I can't afford to keep all of my pieces. Um, Richmond's in the twilight of his career. That's $20 million. Donaldson wants twice as much as I'm paying him right now, which I don't have. I've got going into next season. I'm gonna have $9 million in cap space. That's it. Nine.
Donaldson already held out too, didn't he?
Correct.
Hmm.
Yep. So I'm gonna have $9 million in cap space next year.
Wow.
Actually less than that. I'm gonna have $5 million in cap space, $4 million in cap space. I don't know. So some people are gonna have to get the axe next year, just because I can't keep everybody. If Donaldson doesn't hold out, he'll play the last year, and I'll try to re-sign him in the offseason. If he does hold out, I can't re-sign him. So it'll be the same thing as this season. He just sits there till he decides to come back. My two defensive ends, Max McDaniel and who's the other one? DJ
McAllister.
McAllister. Yeah, those guys, they're in their ninth, 10th, 11th year. They're big money guys, so those are guys I'm probably going to end up cutting.
Oh yeah, for their
Just
production, they're making way too much.
yeah. Well, but I mean, what you don't see is, I mean, my run defense is fantastic, right?
Hmm.
So I think the defensive line positions, the positions that Red Zone really gripes about. You're never going to see a defensive lineman who's going to get 100 tackles, right? Especially in the 4-3 defense. Their job's just, at least in real football, their job is to occupy the offensive lineman so your linebackers can make tackles. So
It's communicative.
exactly. So my
Yeah, and your
you don't
defensive
have
front cohesion's way up there too.
exactly because I re-signed them. Like I draft guys and I keep them on the team.
Hmm.
So those 90 plus run defense bars help out a lot. So I'm gonna miss those when they're gone. I did draft a defensive end though that didn't see much playing time this year. That's Spencer Peterson. He'll slide in and be an okay defensive end. So
And you
we'll
got
see.
him in the second round, which is a great pick for a second
Yeah.
round. I love hearing the stories about teams like this.
Now you know something. I was looking at this kind of before the show. Look at my receiving core. Like my starting three receivers. So just go to the
Hold on, let me
you know,
let me move these guys out of the way, and I'll get all three of them out. How can I move this over? There we go. All right, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so let me move this over, and I'll get all your three out. Okay.
I bitched and I griped kind of when I drafted these guys because Nicholas Cassidy was a first round pick, Johnny Gray was a first round pick, Antonio Griffin was a second round pick, and I was hoping that these guys would hit and be like 55, 60 rated receivers. And Antonio Griffin I think has gotten a little bit better over time, but none of them have hit 50. Nicholas Cassidy hit 50 for 1 year and then dropped. But in my offense, I'm getting a lot of production out of these guys. Like I'm happy with how they turned out.
Oh yeah, no, they all have the route running to
You
be
know,
players. So yeah,
yeah.
I see it.
But it's like
I
one of those where, I remember I took the guy and then the reveal, and I was like, oh, well, that's a waste of a first round pick. And then I did the exact same thing again, um, with first was Antonio Griffin, then it was Johnny Gray, and I was sitting there after the draft, and son of a bitch, I whiffed on 2 picks. I really didn't. And looking back at some of the other picks that I've made, like historically, I haven't drafted a lot of studs, but I've drafted a lot of players that fit the defense great and have been huge contributors.
Yeah, because you look at your quarterback. Donaldson put up 4,000 yards, 7.21 yards per attempt. With these receivers, besides
Mm-hmm.
your tight end, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So he's almost 3-1 on touchdown ratio to interceptions. Quarterback rating of a 93.9.
Oh, how tall is Sebastian Donaldson again?
Let's get him up.
4'8".
Let's get him up.
4'8".
Hold on.
He's 5'9",
Is
man.
he?
Clay, I know how tall he is. He's 5'9".
Oh, is he?
I'm just pissed off that fucking Howie is now trying to disprove, one of mine and among many others theories that short quarterbacks suck.
So
And
your
here's
theory,
Donaldson's already got a bowl.
So he proved that your theory is not really a theory; it's a hypothesis.
Yes, exactly.
So,
And then, and then you got Melkpo over there with Bolitnikov, and now Quick has him. He's 5'10". So my hypothesis has gone out the fucking window.
and I remember
I will still never have one below fucking 6 foot. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I remember Howie's been screaming at the top of his lungs about when people keep saying about 5'10", 5'9". I know C-Mac says it. Howie would chime in saying, I've had quarterbacks that have done much better. It doesn't matter the height. I guess it matters the system.
Yes, I think so.
Yep. I would agree with that.
Because we're going to get into, by the way, Joe Franklin when we get down there. But let's stay here for now. But yeah, Howie, I've noticed this with Howie on his cornerbacks. Howie had certain cornerbacks that had a certain position or a certain skill set that worked for his team. And we talked about it maybe, 8 shows ago. But Howie finds ways of making certain players play well in his system. And people would never take those players on their team. But Howie would say, I would put him on my team, and he makes them work. So I've noticed that he has players, Howie does, that works with his system. That doesn't work with other people's systems.
Yep. No, I think so many of us now are kind of falling into that, though, too. Honestly, I do the same thing. I got guys that have nothing but man defense because I play man or cover 2. And another guy would look at that and like, well, he doesn't have any, bump and run defense, so I can't have him. So, but yeah, I agree. Howie's been real good at that over the seasons. No different. I mean, Gothenburg, I think, is Julio's the pro at that. I mean, year after year after year, he just gets people that can fit his system and do well with them. I mean, I can get guys to fit my system, but I don't always do well with them. So.
But Howie, great job. Did you think you were going to do this well, by the way?
Yes, I had a feeling that this team was gonna be successful.
Yeah. I think we all called you to win the division too. So,
I was very optimistic being able to keep this team together that I'd make another run for it.
All right. Then we got Cap City. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm getting old. Sorry.
No, you were saying about keeping your team together that you knew by keeping them together you're going to do very well.
Yeah. Oh, when's the last time anyone's gone back to back?
Oh, I was gonna. Yeah, that was something that I thought about too, Howie. Probably fucking 4 hours ago. I'm like, who was the last team to win 2 bowls back to back? And I don't remember, but I know it's been a long time because the parity in this league has just gotten fucking crazy.
That I couldn't tell you at all.
No, I can fucking look it up here. Just gotta look
While he's
at.
looking that up, we have Cap City that followed up. He fell off, and don't know what happened with Cap City. And then you had after him Moontown and Outer Banks. Now I know Moontown got a quarterback, but here's the look of Cap City. I actually thought Cap City would be more of a 10-6 team, not an 8-8 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he could probably have won more games, but it's just, his team's getting old. I thought Tommy Johnston was going to retire before this season, so. But he's getting old. Terrell Yeater's getting old. He just got that good running back to take over Yeater's spot, but he's only in his second year, so. Yeah, his team's just getting old, and like I said, I know he wishes he had more time to screw around with the team. I think he got hit with the injury bug there a little bit too, so yeah, I actually thought he'd be better, but not surprised that he went 8-8.
I'm shocked that he actually went 8-8 when he only put up 17 points per game, by the way.
Oh. That's bad.
And he went 8-8, yes. So it was kind of a shocker because he wasn't putting up a lot of points in the games. There would be sporadic things, and then Moontown. Did Moontown get screwed on his quarterback, by the way? Because he picked number 1, right? Did he?
Yeah, I don't think he.
That was Bordeaux.
Yeah, Bordeaux got the bad guy.
Yeah, no, Britt's. He's going to be all right. That'll be an okay quarterback.
Yeah, not enough sense rush for me. But yeah, that's not looking nearly as good as he did coming out of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 1.1 quarterback as well. But yeah, Moontown, he went 5-10. And Outer Banks, I know he's frustrated with his quarterback Wilson, and he wants to trade Wilson. I remember seeing something like that. He's not happy with him. I'm sure someone would take Wilson off his hands. Not sure what he can get for him, but he wants to start fresh. He will have, pick 4? Pick 3?
What did he go?
He went 4-12.
4-12.
3-12. And there's 1-15. I think he's picked 3.
Hmm.
He gets a top 3rd pick.
Damn, Wilson had 1,000 yards rushing. Yeah, I don't know what you do with a guy like Wilson. I mean, he's red flag.
I know.
People talk about not wanting that either. He is getting up there in age, but
there are teams or GMs that can work with quarterbacks like this. If there was a 5'9" quarterback that everyone else says, I'm not taking him, Howie would take him.
That's not entirely true.
If they have the bars that you like, I should say that.
And if it's the style.
Expand on that.
I'm very particular about just getting like rollout quarterbacks. That's what I've designed my offense for.
Expand on that.
I like like Ronaldo Wilson. I like the bar profile. I like the scramble frequency. But he's a long pass quarterback, and I really don't think that quarterback would fit well in my system.
Yeah, you're a rollout guy, right?
Yeah. Like in other leagues, I've ported over the, my IHOF playbook, and I've tried to build similar teams, but without having a rollout quarterback, it's been disastrous.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I wonder how much rollout, long passes, short passes, because I always try to go for short passes, guys, if I can, because that gives you that tiny little bonus on short passes. Last team to win the bowl 2 years in a row was Moontown. That's when Bomber had the team, and that was 78 and 79.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
So,
So
Howie, going back to what you were saying, so if the bars are there and it's not a rollout quarterback, it can't work really in your system, or you haven't had success basically with
I
the
haven't
quarterbacks.
I haven't had success. I mean, if the I might try it. I'd be more apt to try it, you know, in this league than another one. Just because this league moves so fast that I could move on quick and recover and not seem like it takes forever. Um, but maybe it would work with a short pass quarterback, but I don't think it would work with a long pass quarterback. I don't know.
No, it's interesting
And I
because of if you're sitting, let's say, Howie, at 1.1, there's the top quarterback out there with all the bars, isn't a rollout quarterback. Do you go and take him, or do you say to somebody, I'm trading out, take the quarterback, I'll wait for the next one?
if I had the if I had the 1-1 pick, I'd probably take it. And then if he didn't work out, I would move on and trade for. I'm sure I would try to trade him away and get something for it. But I would never go in free agency and offer, $80 million a year to a quarterback that wasn't a rollout guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
So that's just me.
And it's funny how Quick made a comment in the forum about he's been playing with quarterbacks that have been average, and he feels like he's been doing it wrong. He should have just went for the top quarterbacks in the very beginning. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Yeah, instead of playing with scrubs and playing the chemistry game, and doing well sometimes and getting by other times, if he just gotten the stud quarterback, he would dominate. That's how I read it.
That's how I read it as well.
Yeah. So, and there's something to be said for that. Like people can get a little bit of production out of crappy quarterbacks, but imagine if you get a great quarterback in your system that's a chemistry fit and all that. Just imagine how much better you could be. It's scary.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more so because Biletnikoff did not have any chemistry with his team, but just the fact that his bars stayed, he didn't tank, and he's got the exact same offensive game plan that he has, and Biletnikoff is just fucking going off in that game plan. So yeah, it kind of makes me rethink my shit too. It's like I've been playing with subpar quarterbacks for so fucking long, and I've won bowls with them, and I've made the playoffs with them, but I just wonder how much better my team and game plan would be if I had that 70, 80 rated guy,
Yeah.
So I don't think I've had anyone over 50 for a long fucking. I think Freeman was the last one over 50, and he wasn't even that great. So,
well, we're transitioning right now into your division, and there's Biletnikoff, and we're going to jump to your team next, and we can look at your quarterback right after. This is what he's doing with him: 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, quarterback rating of 101.
Isn't that insane?
and I don't I don't blame him. He's putting up 29 points per game. His defense is allowing only 20 points per game. That's why he's sitting where he's sitting.
That bar profile is just ridiculous. His numbers are ridiculous. The fact that Quick changed his number to 50 is ridiculous. Everything about that's ridiculous.
50. I didn't even know you could change a quarterback's number to 50. What the fuck is that?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Who the fuck? Number 50, Dante Biletnikoff.
It's amazing half Bill's journey. If you look at it, he started in Iowa, and he just got amazing as he went on.
Yeah.
But any event,
He
Quick,
just made everybody on the team better. I mean, his running backs, both of them had over 5 yards of carry, and that Lester kid almost had 6. Jesus Christ. I think Dunlop had his best year at wide receiver, 122 catches, 1,546 yards, 15 touchdowns. Damn.
Yep.
15 touchdowns.
Good God.
Very good. His team dominated. Just with that one change with the quarterback, money well spent for this season.
Yes.
Yeah, how much did he pay him again? It's a
We
lot,
can take a
wasn't it?
look. We can take a look. Hold on.
103 this year. It's right there on your screen. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much 103 million every year. Wow.
And I like that. I like seeing GMs going after a player that they feel is going to make their team better and win. And they spend the money and they make it happen if they can. So it's nice to see. Because I'm sure. How many people went after Half Bill, by the way? Do you guys know?
I don't even know.
I could tell you.
Was there a lot of people?
Oh, yeah. Didn't Bob go after him too and missed out because his owner wouldn't allow him a bigger bonus?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So let me see. Quick, Bob, Houston, and Orlando all went after him. Yep. And Bob actually offered more money, just he couldn't offer the bigger bonus. So, oosh.
Now, Quick, he had a quarterback last season. I forgot the name of him.
Humphreys, Percy.
No. The guy
The other guy.
with stuff with a G, Italian name. You know who I'm
yeah.
speaking of. He
I
was
do.
like a 30 rated quarterback.
Richie. Diagamo?
Yes.
Diagiacomo?
Yeah,
That-
Richie DiGiacomo.
That guy was putting up numbers for Quick. So Quick probably said, if I get Half Bill, it's going to do so much better. Is he still on his team?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring him up right now then. Let's look at. So this is what he did last season, that guy. Let's get these numbers out. 19
Yeah,
touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Not terrible.
But he's a crappy quarterback. Look at his bars, and he got that production out of him.
Yep.
In the season before, it was 18 touchdowns to 10 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 88. On a crappy quarterback like that.
Yeah, that's not bad, but that's kind of what Quick had mentioned in there too. You know, hey, I could take any quarterback and get him brought to that 85 rating, you know. But what a difference, you know. Dante Biletnikoff had 100 rating this season, so.
And made it more now very competitive for you, by the way, which we're going to your team. We're going to transition to your team, which I'm actually impressed what you did with your quarterback, by the way.
Outside of some games where he threw too many interceptions, man, he just really wasn't bad. I think one of those games we got 4. I can't remember who the hell it was. But yeah, I think he's played pretty good, man.
So you went 8-7-1. You and I tied in the game, which is kind of
Finally.
funny.
Well, yeah, I keep bitching because you beat me all the time. It's like, why do we always have to play at your fucking house? Why can't you come to my fucking stadium every now and again? Same thing with Howie. I feel like every time I fucking play Howie now, I'm at his fucking house.
You went.
Yeah, no, I was
Talk about
really
your team.
surprised with how he played. I mean, I thought the kid was going to be okay. Like I said, I need to cut down the interceptions, but we had under 20 sacks again. Worcester, you know, he's been injured almost every year of his career, so I was really worried about that. And he didn't get injured this year and almost had 2,000 yards, and he had 23 touchdowns. And I think, yeah, so he bested Richmond, Howie, didn't he? As far as, you know, yards from scrimmage and touchdowns. I think Richmond had 20
17 touchdowns, but I think he bested
3
the yards
receiving.
from scrimmage.
Yeah, he had 3 receiving too. Richmond,
Yeah.
so he had 20. So, but yeah, that's I I was surprised. I thought my defense would do better, but then, early on we had some defensive injuries. My rookie cornerback went out. He was out for fucking half the season. I just been banged up again all year. And again, I thought having the new field, I mean, this is my first year of a brand new field. I thought injuries would cut down, but fuck no. I mean, I had one of my starting wide receivers, that Bubba Reuter, he got a MCL knee surgery off of my field. So, my O line's been together for a while. I don't have the best run blockers, so that's what makes Worcester's 1,900 yards fucking even more surprising.
Yeah, if you don't have good run blockers and you put up 1,900 yards, almost 2,000 yards, there's nothing much to talk about, especially if you have 4.65, 11 touchdowns. That combo of running with your passing has been working. 38 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, almost 2-1, 88.4 passing rating.
Yep, that's his best season by far.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Kurtzman is 1,000 yards. James Jarvis got 1,000 yards again. Those guys just aren't. Their catch percentage is never the best, but for some reason I was third in third down conversions this year. So I was first for most of the season, but it's like watching some of my games, it's like, we'll get that penalty and get 3rd and 20, then boom, Christensen hits Kurtzman for fucking 30 yards, or Jarvis. Those guys are just catching deep balls, You're a
13-3 team, or even 12-4, 13-3, because you put up 30 points per game. If you fixed your defense, you would just be wiping the floor with everybody.
Yeah, and as far as defense goes, again, my drafts over the last 4 seasons have been just crazy. I mean, even this year when Ben does that flashback to the 21-14 draft, I looked on there and I had 6 guys, and those 6 guys are all still starting on my team. So, but yeah, I'm really let down by my defense. But again, we got kind of banged up there early in the season. My secondary I got to get that together, and safeties. I have to get fucking safeties. My Bryson Wayne strong safety is getting old. He's only playing because he, gives cohesion. Otherwise I wouldn't even play him there. I've got a quarterback playing free safety on the 1-1-3s because I just don't have a good free safety. So yeah, I think there's a couple more things that I could add to defense here to get it going a little bit more. Another year of cohesion will be fine. My kick returners are fucking awesome. And like I mentioned in the forums when I played, who was it that I played? I think it was Fort Wayne when I played Slam. I was just thinking that night, I'm like, God, I've got these 2 great returners and neither one of them have scored a touchdown. And sure as shit, the next day they both score a touchdown. So yeah, good returners. My kicker kind of sucked this year, only 78%. I just, all in all, I'm satisfied with this season. It was a really fun season, a little bit frustrating. I had that big gap there where I lost 4 in a row. I tied Clay and then lost 3. And I got my ass kicked outside of Arizona and I lost that by a field goal. But yeah, man, like the season, got some shit to fix up yet. I got a couple guys on my offense that I'd like to get more involved, like Joshua Minor, a tight end. I got him some more plays later in the season. Barry Moore, a little bit more. My fullback, Hardy Henry, I'd like to get more involved here in the future. But yeah, good season. Got some work to do.
I like it. And you had Frederick right on your ass. And Brooklyn, I don't know what happened with Brooklyn. But we'll just go quickly to Frederick really quick. I know he was going back and forth. His quarterback, I know he's not happy with his quarterback. Frederick, that is. It's just been a hodgepodge of things with him. And then Brooklyn fell apart. He thought his what he was saying. He thought his defense was going to be good, but his defense turned out to be crappy.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're bad. But as far as Roy, every season since he's been in this league, he comes out of the gates hot. He was 4-1 coming out, and then shit just always falls apart on him.
His defense gave up 33.7 points a game. Think about that. 33 points a game, almost 34 points per game. His defense. And Cushman hasn't been doing anything for him. Cushman only gave, for the kind of quarterback Cushman is, 25 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. His running game was held to only 3 yards per carry. So, yeah, he's got things to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot of shit to fix.
Think he gets rid of Cushman and goes for a quarterback if it's sitting there?
No, I think he's not going. I don't think Cushman's going anywhere. He's more worried, I think, that he's going to retire, having such a shit season. Cushman's already 36.
Well, if he retires, this money's spent already. He'll lose his $68 million.
No, just the bonus. The 68 comes back next year if he retires.
Oh, that's right. It's just
only the bonus goes, so he'll lose $30 million on the guy. I'm kind of hoping he does retire because I'm already sick of him because he always plays well against us, but we just, But actually, defensively, this year, we actually played better against the pass. We are number 26 against the pass. We're usually 31 or 32. So that's a step up. Yeah, old Ron Ellard's getting old. He's 33. I think Elias Dennis was injured for a good portion of the year, defensive end for him. No, he's got a lot of shit to fix. So, and I'm guessing if Cushman doesn't retire and there's a QB there at 1-1, God, I don't know what Jobs would do. Does he take the QB at 1-1 or trade out?
I think he'd take the QB at 1-1.
I agree with Howie.
Yeah, with Cushman being that old.
Absolutely. And you're not really going to get much for Cushman if you try to trade him.
No.
So.
Nope. But yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, man. Needs O-line, needs some D-line, needs a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because he has to think of the future. If it's a top wide receiver or a top quarterback, he's going. I'm not sure which one he'll go for.
Yeah.
But based upon what Quick just said, maybe he goes for the quarterback before the wide receiver.
But, I mean, look at Cushman's bars. He should be playing way better than that.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Now we move on to the NC West, where we have Oakland, who went 10-6, Hanalei 8-8, Colorado 8-8, and Fairbanks dropped to 5-11.
All right, I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Go ahead. I know Jugs lost his quarterback, Kornick, for
in my game.
How many games was that he lost? Six games? 7?
He played mine and got crippling depression after it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So, yeah, and he still turned around and went 10-6.
Yep.
Great job with this guy Dodge. Dodge held the fort for him. His running games, he had 2,300 yards, almost 5 yards per carry on each one. Bernard had 18 touchdowns, his running back.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. He put up 24 points a game. He gave up only 21 points. And he's sitting at 10-6. He took the division. Congrats, Jugs. He's always, for me, I always had him up there with Hanalei. They were both like neck and neck. In Colorado, too, I always think Colorado's a good team. I don't know what happened to them this season, but if I had to pick a team, it would have probably been between Hanalei and Oakland to take that division. So it was no surprise how it laid out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. I don't know, when his quarterback went down, I thought he would do okay, but I didn't think that he'd play as well as he did. But Jugs is a great GM, and again, it's a team with he's a run first team, and I think you run the ball and you can hide a lot of weaknesses in the quarterback.
I like seeing that, by the way, that there are teams that can run and win games. He had almost 500 carries between the two running backs. Put up
Yeah.
2,300 yards. So it shows that you can be a 10-6 or even higher winning percentage with just running the ball. But I want to jump over to Hanalei, where he picked up this quarterback, Joe Franklin, that everyone's been talking about. I know I texted you guys in the very beginning about this guy. This guy right here is, you see his bars, and yet he put up 34 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 90.9, 4,700 yards. Now I know what's his name, Ben, chimed in saying, well, he's got this on his team. And you can't look at these quarterbacks as they're like some guy that you pull off the street that never played football.
Right.
They're still
Right.
quarterbacks that can play. The thing I have to say to that is that you see teams with quarterbacks who are much better than this guy, who don't produce like this guy.
And I think that comes down. The other component that comes down to is game planning, right?
Yes, it has to.
You know, like I sent a text to I sent a text to Red Zone, because he was struggling with his his offense couldn't do this and his offense couldn't do that, and then it gets on track, and then his offense can't do this and it can't do that, and Red Zone said on one of these shows, you put a game plan together and it does okay, and then you play another game and then it doesn't do okay, so you tinker with it a little bit and it doesn't do okay. You tinker with it a little bit and it's still not doing okay. And you tinker with it a little bit, and now you've tinkered with it so much that it doesn't resemble anything like the game plan they put together that was successful. And I think that Hanley doesn't change their game plan. They just, he goes with the same thing, and it's a game plan that he knows works, and you just plug in guys and you go.
Yeah, I knew as soon as it came out that Melkpo was busy again and doesn't have time for the game. I didn't think he'd win the division,
Yeah.
And
But
it
again,
shows, again, people that have time for the... Again, if Capital City had as much time as he wants to invest in this game, he probably would have made the playoffs and been 10-6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think Melpo's the same. I think if he had the time for this game, we wouldn't be seeing this.
No, but
Oh,
we weren't
no.
talking about that. We were talking about how Joe Franklin, a quarterback like this, puts up numbers like that. And then I said to Howie, I know Ben chimed in on a forum saying that, listen, he has these receivers and this and that. And
Yep.
I understand all that part. However, there are quarterbacks who are much better than him that other teams have that don't produce what he's doing. And then Howie chimed in saying, it all comes down to now your game plan.
Right.
You have the receivers and the game
and
plan.
how Mouthpaw just submits a game plan that he knows works, and he might have a great game one day and then a bad game the next, but it's the same game plan. So at some point, he knows it's successful for what he wants to do in his megabot mode.
Yep.
Whereas somebody else might sit there and tinker with it and maybe do well for one game and then change it up for another and change it up for another, and kind of they dig their own hole, if they were,
Yep.
as it were.
Well, I mean, but I know Clay switched up a bunch of shit this year, but Howie, you've been relatively running the same offense
Oh yes,
for years.
Yeah.
And so have I. I barely have changed anything in my playbook over the last 15 seasons. I just kind of got the routes and, like my flanker. Right now, he doesn't have any courage. So my flanker, and I haven't had a flanker with courage for a long time. So my flanker never goes over the fucking middle. It's just all about having people where they can play. But I haven't changed shit. I mean, I might change the play that I start with for the game just to get different starts for people. But yeah, outside of that, I think this season, mid-season, I added a couple plays for Minor and a couple plays for my fullback. But outside of that, I haven't changed much of anything on my offense in fucking years.
I have I have 5 base game plans that I work with, and of those 5 base game plans, I have 7 to 10 open plays. And so if I want to do something specific, like I'll have one or two open plays in the goal line, and I'll have one or two open plays in the red zone, and I'll have I'll have an open play in third down and like 6 or third down and 8, one of those. But my first and tens don't ever change. My seconds don't ever change. Like, that part of the game plan stays constant for me, and I don't change that. Yep. I just kind of plug and play things in situations where, okay, I want to attack this corner in the red zone, so I'm going to choose this formation in this play, or I want to attack this safety in the on the goal line, so this is the play I'm going to run. But for the most part, my game plan doesn't change too much.
Yep.
Which is why I think I was successful last season when I wasn't around very much, is because I didn't have to do much. It was
and I was so surprised when he fucking won the bowl last season, just because. And usually for me, when we're making predictions, like Jugs, like all season, I'm texting with him and C-Max and whatever talking. He just doesn't think he's going to do well, and I'm like, you're going to win the fucking division. Ain't no one else good this year again. So.
Oh, I have to agree. And on the game planning, yes. You keep few game plans that work with your players, and you're good to go. I don't believe, and I know we've talked about this on other shows, and I know Red Zone brought this up too, that you can look at someone's game plan, and if you need to copy and all that stuff. If you do that, which I should have said in the other shows, if you do that, it is not you then who made your team better. You are just a carbon copy of that GM that you're copying from.
Right.
That's what you're doing. So there is no achievement that you feel you made, because all you're doing is copy and paste. That's not fun. If you make it your own from trial and error, then it becomes more valuable, it's more oomph to it. If you're going to copy and paste, then you're just that GM that is making your team better. At the end of the day, you didn't make your team better at all.
Right.
No, but I think sometimes for somebody who's struggling to figure the game out, it's a starting point. Like with me, my first couple of seasons, I was terrible. I couldn't figure anything out.
Yep.
And then,
I played Howie like his first season, I think, and he was running so much 104 and everything was just fucking familiars. I had to send him a PM before, hey, dude, you're running way too much 104. You're getting familiars, man.
and at that point, I was screwed because I think 90% of my playbook was 104.
Yep.
I got the game and got right into the multiplayer aspect of it and didn't really figure out single player yet. So I screwed myself there. But Rick sent me a message and said, hey, you're running a West Coast offense. I got a playbook you can have and learn from it. And he sent it to me. So I played with that playbook for 2 years and won a couple of games. And then I was like, okay, let's start changing things up. And now the playbook that I have might have 5 or 6 plays in it that the other GMs use that I've kept, but 99.9% of it's stuff that I came up with. And you're right, it is so much more fulfilling to do that. But at the same time, if you're really, really struggling and that, hey, I want to pass the ball, T-Zac's a great passer, someone copies 10 or 15 of his plays, it's a starting point. I'd rather do that.
But the thing with that, and I'll fully admit, 20 seasons ago when T-Zac was good, I'm like going, fuck, I want to take some of these fucking pass plays. So I create them, but of course he's a different coordinator than I have. I've been spread since I came into the league, and he was something else. But, to make a spread play, you basically put him in shotgun and run the same routes. But the thing I didn't think of that's been brought to lights instead, it's like, okay, you can copy these plays, but if you don't have the same fucking wide receivers or the same quarterback, these plays wouldn't work. And guess what? None of those plays that I copied from T-Zac 20 seasons ago worked for my team. So I got rid of them. So I don't mind the copying of other people. So, I mean, in fact, I got Worcester 12 touchdowns this year. and 150 yards. So all that was in the red zone or goal line. I have 2 running back receiving plays that will get 10 plus touchdowns every season. And I've given those plays to people. It's like, hey, just adjust it to your playbook. Again, you don't have the same players as mine, but maybe this will work for you. But the fact that this running back touchdown play that I have, the 2, have worked for 40 seasons now, I mean, can't go wrong, you know?
That's true. Can't go wrong. That's why I like how I see all GMs play and how they're figuring things out. And that's why I like Zappa asking questions to understand the game better, which has been great. And then doing these things where people give their insight of what they know.
Oh, and what's great about this league is there's so many GMs that are willing to give you information, you know, and willing to answer your questions. You know, there's Rick and Red Zone helped me, and Jugs helped me, and T-Zac helped me. You know, there's the whole bunch of people that when I was first learning, you know, I'd email for little nuggets and they'd respond back. So.
Well, Hanley went 8-8, and I know he's been busy. Mount Powell, he hasn't been really active. Colorado went 8-8. I don't know what happened to Diaz this season.
I don't. Yeah, no, this Colorado and Fairbanks, dude. I mean, Colorado, okay, they had a chance right at the end and scrubbed it out. I mean, you guys don't understand how much help that I had to get to even make the playoffs this year. I had to have 3 teams fucking lose, and all 3 of them did.
Who were the 3 teams? Who were the 3 teams that had to lose?
It was Colorado who lost at. They lost at home to Hanalei. So Colorado was 1. Let me just go to the standings.
Cap City had to be another
Cap
one.
City was 1. And it was Frederick. Frederick had to lose their last game as well. And they did at home against Chesapeake. So yeah, a lot of people did me a lot of favors.
Yeah, and Fairbanks, he fell down. I don't know what's going on.
No, dude. It was nice having Eric on the show again. It's always nice to have new GMs that come on and talk. But he traded the 1 running back, and that's the only thing that I can, unless DeAndre Washington tanked a little bit this year.
He threw more interceptions than touchdowns. He went 14 of 18. Look at where he went from last season, 29 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, to 14 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. This probably goes back to what Howie was just talking about. He changed his game plan.
And maybe he did, but the other thing, too, is remember he had 2 stud running backs, and he traded 1 away. He kept Wesley Relford. And if you even look at Wesley Relford, he had 141 targets at receiving. 79 catches. I mean, that's a lot of targets for a running back. I wonder how much of that was going to the other running back that might have fucked with Washington's numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, that's right. 141 targets.
But I know Peter Rodriguez is getting old. That was a stud wide receiver. Did he tank again this year? I mean, there's all sorts of ways you can speculate on what fucking happened.
Well, he'll probably chime in on the forum about what happened. But, yeah, Eric, Washington just took a nosedive.
Yep.
Excellent season last season, and then dropped down.
Again, I don't know how much that had to do with his double running back stuff, but yeah, Rodriguez has been on the outs for a while, so that probably doesn't matter so much.
All right, we'll swing over to the other division. We'll start at the bottom with Gutenberg going at 10-6, Masslouis 8-8, Paris 6-10, and Bordeaux at 5-10. I guess everyone thought the same where they were going to fall. There's no surprise there.
Yeah, there's no surprises.
I just
Julio does a great job with Gutenberg.
I think we all called Julio to win that one.
I think the only surprise was that I thought Julio would have a higher record, and also Masslouis would have a higher record.
Yep. I think I probably would have thought they'd both have 2 extra wins on that. But yeah, no, it's, maybe this is I mean, Julio didn't even make the playoffs this year, and this year he just went 10-6, won the division. Maybe we can keep our fingers crossed that he's on a downward spiral.
He made the playoffs.
He did. But I'm just saying he didn't make the playoffs last season. And his team has been off the last couple of seasons from what they usually are, you know?
Well, this is a quarterback. It's a mirror image of Anderson that he picked up, if you can see. By the way.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Those are the same. Corporate, what's the difference between these pictures? They're the same pictures. You guys seen that meme? Those guys look really fucking close. Holy shit. I know he talked about it in the forum, but I never really went and looked how close they were, you know?
Actually, if he didn't take him, I was going to take the quarterback, by the way. But he took him. I know other people are looking at him as well, that guy Anderson. Bart Tanner, I don't understand why Mass Lewis likes this guy. He always hurts him in games where he throws so many picks. He's 33 touchdowns, 26 picks. I know he paid him a lot. He gave him an extension.
He's only making $40 million this year. 77 next year. That's guy. I think he's maybe got to be done with him. I mean, it doesn't have any chemistry with anybody. I know he brings lots of cohesion, but the interceptions, I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my guy threw fucking 20 this year, and I want to kick him to the fucking curb. But he also almost had 40 interceptions, so he almost doubled his shit. But Bart Tanner is also kind of a fucking exciting player, so he could see where, you know, MIJB just likes watching the games and see what this kid can do, because he can fucking kill some teams. And then he'll have those games where he'll throw 3 or 4 interceptions and just, you know.
I wonder how many of those games that he's throwing those many interceptions are causing him to lose those games.
Well, I'm guessing probably the 8 games that he lost this year, those 8 are the ones he threw all the interceptions in.
But out of those 8, which ones are the crucial ones that you can say 3 of them Mass Lewis could have won if it wasn't for these interceptions? And that's the key issue.
Yep. If it was me, I would probably move on from this, especially with how much he's going to cost next year.
Mm-hmm. I remember one time I had a quarterback who used to throw a lot of interceptions, and you told me, I think with somebody else, I think with Howie or someone, say, why do you still have this guy? Get rid of him. He throws too many interceptions.
Yeah, let me see. Wasn't Starks? Starks actually played pretty well, didn't he?
It was McConnell?
McConnell.
That's the one. McConnell. You guys got on me about that. And I said, you said, are you going to extend him? And I said, I believe I am. And you said, why? He throws too many interceptions. It reminds me of Bart Tanner. That's just my take. So,
maybe it was Starks, Clay. I'm looking at McConnell. He threw 18, 22, 21, 11, 19, 17.
It was
all
one
while
of
getting
them.
20 plus touchdowns. Yeah.
It was one of them. Then we go to Paris. Now, Paris got the quarterback in the draft. McDonald. Now,
he ended up being the best out of the 3, right?
Yes.
We were all high on Whiting, and McDonald ended up being the best.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Not a bad rookie fucking season. Not a bad rookie season. And he's the one that traded for Albies running back Liam Shields, and he ran okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting how the 3 teams underneath Gutenberg, how they do next season. I'm going to like watching this. And then Bordeaux, he had, I think, the second quarterback in the draft. This is a quarterback that took a dump, I believe, but it looked like he did fine on my scouts.
Yeah, he doesn't look terrible, but from what he was supposed to be, he did fucking crash, and unfortunately, that's the second quarterback in a row that crashed for him. There's Hardy Henson and then Darren Whiting. I mean, but even if you look at Henson, Clay, I mean, could you?
Yeah, I can bring.
Could you do something with that guy? I mean, that sense rush is 92, dude.
Yeah,
I hate the timing.
The re-defense is going to be 94. Timing accuracy, I like a little bit more of that, but the only thing with this guy is the scramble frequency. At this point, I got to have a scrambler on my fucking team, so
I don't like him. He doesn't have accuracy or timing.
No, again, they're different. You're running a different playbook than some of us. But Howie, you couldn't do him either. Oh, he's a long pass guy.
Yeah, Darren Whiting, long pass guy.
Darren Whiting's a rollout guy.
Yeah, I can make do with Whiting. I can make do with Whiting.
Yeah.
I think,
but no, Cinch rush, read defense.
Henson crashed more than Whiting.
Yeah. Henson was the worst out of the two. When Henson actually, I mean, didn't he kind of look like Biletnikoff?
Boy,
back then?
I don't remember.
5'11", 200. Those bars were way better than that. I can tell you that much.
So he went, what was his record now? He went 5-11. So he'll have like top 6 pick, top 5, top 6.
Yeah, his scoring defense was terrible. 27.9. He was number 31 in the league. The defense kind of really let him down this year. But that might be a product of how bad the offense was playing as well. So
then we go to AC East. Tucker at 14-2, dominating. Augusta at 12-4, very good season for him. Snap Fingers at 5-10-1, and Orlando at 3-12-1. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Howie?
I was really hoping that Augusta was going to take the division title from Tucker this year, and they'd throw a ticker tape parade over in Augusta.
They would. They would, just to win the fucking division. Fuck the playoffs.
Let's look at what.
Or not the playoffs, the bowl.
Just
winning the division is like winning the bowl in that division.
I know. Look what Brady did, by the way, as quarterback. 53 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, passing rate of 100. 7.52 yards per attempt, 6,200 yards, almost 6,300 yards passing. It's just sickening.
It is sick because look at the defense too. I mean,
22 points per game.
That's a bit, I guess, and the yards ain't showing it, but I mean, he had Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, we can look at this. He allowed total yards. He was ranked 20th for defense.
Yep.
But he put up 35 points per game.
Yeah.
Second to only T-Zac, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and only gave up 22 points. So this is like, just Ben and T-Zac at this point have both sides of the team down to a fucking science. You can't do anything on them fucking offensively, and you can't stop anything they do. So, I mean, who did Ben lose to this year? Rochester, that was a fluke. And then Iowa. And I can't imagine either one of those guys really game planned or did anything to really try to stop them. So those two had to have been a fluke. I mean, Ben should have probably been 16-0.
Iowa held them to 7 points.
You would have?
Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Held them to 7 points. And Iowa put 31 points on them. Well, good job, Ben. Dominating year. And then we had Augusta. Saw did well. He brought his team back.
Yeah.
So I was talking with Chris, I think it was Friday night, getting towards the end of the night. We're just, pulled up the website and we're fucking looking. And we think Brian, if he was not in that division, he would be one of the dominant GMs in this league.
Hands down.
And he
I
would
feel
win. He would have 50% more division wins right now in his career here if he was not in Ben's division.
yeah.
Ben, I would hate to be in that fucking division. It was already hard enough for me being with Quick, but it's just that. Go ahead, have your thoughts. That's all I wanted to say. Is like me and Chris were talking about. Is like Brian's a great GM. If he's not in this division, he wins 50% more divisions.
He is always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Yeah,
That's perfectly said.
That's good analogy.
You know, it's like I honestly feel because he's had some great teams, and it's like, oh, great, I got to go and freaking play Ben twice.
Yeah,
and
all these seasons. So okay, right? Like, Caden Banks, right, has been there since 2107. All those seasons with this great fucking quarterback has never won a division with Caden Banks.
Yeah,
Ted Meza there for 2103 to fucking and half that time with fucking Caden Banks 2113 he retired or it was last season. Never won a division. He's had fucking Robert Joyner, Patrick, not Patrick, but the Swayze fucking kid at wide receiver. All this great fucking offense, and he can't win the fucking division because of fucking Ben. I mean, how pissed I would have probably quit well, now our waiting list is so long, so you can't really quit and get back in anytime soon. But I would have, if I was saying 20 seasons ago, I would have quit when the waiting list was done, have someone pick up his team, get back on the list. I would have just lied and said, hey, I'm going to be busy for the next fucking 2 seasons, you know.
No, he can also tell Ben, hey, Ben, if anyone, bounces out, can I take that team and give someone my team? He can also say that. He can give it up, do it now. That way,
yeah, but then he'd be perceived as a pussy, even.
No.
But it's not. This is his fucking team, though. I mean, he's had this team for so long, just like with Williamsburg. Even if I started sucking and like Quick just started winning the division 15-1 every fucking year, I wouldn't ask to fucking leave. I mean, it's my team. Williamsburg is my team. Just like Texas, I couldn't imagine Texas without Howie. I couldn't imagine Kansas without fucking Clay. And Augusta, I couldn't imagine without Brian. But fucking A, the guy's just a good fucking GM. And he's getting a shaft because Ben's the best GM.
Listen, Grim, I agree with you. Look what he did with Garland. He got Meza retire. He's got this guy Garland. He put up almost 1,700 yards, 4.95 per carry. He was low on his touchdowns. Last season, he had 18 touchdowns with this guy. This season, he has 6. He put up less touchdowns between his quarterback and his running back. However, his team has done very well because his defense only allowed 19 points per game.
Yeah. No, and then what's that Frederickson kid? His wide receiver. Pull him up once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's keeping the standard of having good wide receivers. Didn't he pick up that rookie tight end too? Who's that Ramirez kid?
No, but his quarterback, Banks, didn't put up a lot of touchdowns this season. Look, I'll bring up Banks. Banks last season had 30 touchdowns. This season has only 19.
How in the fuck was he scoring?
His running backs.
No,
right?
His running backs only put up 6 touchdowns. And last season, his running back, Garland, put up 18 touchdowns. His defense must be scoring.
His defense isn't allowing anyone to score.
It's between.
He's number 2.
Yeah, his defense is stopping people from scoring and probably also scoring.
Yeah.
But that's what's winning his games.
When the defense scores, it actually puts it up on your scoring offense. So him being middle of the league at 24 points a game leads me to believe his defense wasn't really scoring a whole lot too. But still, if you got a defense that allows under 20 a game, I mean, you're going to be able to scrub some of those out. So, but yes, love the team, love what Brian does over there all the fucking time. I'd like to get at him on another show. I think I was on a show with him once, and it might have been on a Saturday.
Yes, he came on. That's right.
Yep.
Then we have at the bottom Snapfinger and Orlando. Snapfinger, I'm always shocked because he's got such a great team. And Orlando, his quarterback. Oh, that's not. That's Texas. Snapfinger. There we go.
So with Snapfinger, the letdown had to have been the fucking defense kid.
Yeah, his defense gave up 26 points per game. His offense only put up 23 points per game.
23. So that's, yeah. Well, that,
It
yeah,
was,
but Frankie Leach, man, 60%, 5,000 yards. His running back sucked, Wilkerson.
mm-hmm.
But again, Joel's one of those guys that's fucking trying to. And, you see him in the forum. He's talking a lot more than he fucking used to, anyways, 10 seasons ago. Wouldn't you think, Howie?
Yes.
But just trying different things. I mean, how many game plans did he try? As far as I could see in the forum this year, or game plans, like 5 at least. Hey, we're gonna try this one. Hey, we're gonna try that one. Well,
And then you had Orlando, where I know he's looking for a quarterback.
yeah. So that was another guy that I was down at Chris's house this week in Clay, but we were talking football, like I mentioned earlier, and we're talking about fucking Orlando, and he's just like, "What the fuck happened to him?" I'm like, "Well, he hasn't done fucking anything since he got rid of Shea. Shea came to the team, got him 1, 2, 3, 4 playoffs, 2 division wins. Then he went 6-9-1 with them, and then dropped them. And this Neil Emmons kid's, he's got to go."
Yeah, and his points per game on offense only 18 points, so that's not good. And his defense gives up 27 points. So those two things is dynamite.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're done. But what pick does he have? Like 3?
He's gonna have one. He's gonna have pick 2.
Pick 2.
Yep. For the second pick.
So it's either a quarterback or wide receiver. If they're there, that's gonna be picked. I'm seeing.
Well, that's what he's been lacking for how many seasons. So I just, there's been so many seasons, gentlemen. Like, yeah, but look at how stacked that defense is. How is it that bad? Clay, pull up his defense. I'm like, if I even fucking had half that, it's like, dude.
Yes. Was it you talking about safeties with red zone in the text? By the way,
Yes.
when we were texting? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just that at this point, I've only had a couple of really good safeties, maybe once or twice in this fucking league, but they're just so important, dude. Just both of them. I mean, and again, I don't want to attribute like all success, but with Melman, part of his success is having fucking 2 great fucking safeties. If you have that strong safety that can fucking run defense, zone defense, man-to-man defense, because when he's playing the buzz, if they pass, he's playing in man. If you got that strong safety that has everything, the endurance to play every shit, you're fucking great. You got that fucking free safety with high interception bar, high zone, bust, run, whatever. It doesn't matter. Boom. Safeties are fucking just great.
Now we jump over to Houston in the South. So we got AC South. We have Houston 10-6. Atlanta went 10-6 as well. Fort Wayne 8-8, and San Antonio dropping to 5-11. Now Fort Wayne, I thought was actually going to take the division for some reason. He was playing very well, especially his defense was playing well. And I know you talked about his running game, but we're going to jump to Houston first.
Yeah, and I think I called Chris to win that, but holy crap.
So I know Houston traded, I think it was Orlando, for this guy, Neil Emmons, the quarterback.
Yep.
So he picked up this quarterback. Did well for him. But his defense, as you can see, was almost ranked number 1 in almost everything, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Points per game, 18 points. Points he scored was 21. So his defense really kept him to take that division.
Oh yeah. No, Ken's got such a fucking strong defense. And he's got, he's true 3-4. He's got a 65 rated defensive coordinator. That's helping shit.
And it goes to show when you pick good defensive players, they can really help your team. If you're not scoring points.
No, and he's got a lot of good defensive fucking players. Plus, he's got his, defensive playbook fucking down and what he's doing. He's got it going right, bud.
And then he's followed up by Atlanta. Atlanta was like right there on him. And so Meadows is his quarterback. So he played the rookie this season. He played the rookie and he went 10-6.
Mm-hmm.
And his defense still gave up a lot of points. His defense gave up 25 points per game. He scored 25 points a game. Usually when you have them both scoring the same, you're like a 8-8 team, 9-7 team. But he actually went 10-6.
Yeah, some lucky bounces there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bunch of guys out right now, though. Doubtful. Ethan Kendrick's still out. And that was surprising. Once Kendrick went out, I didn't have to play him, and I fucking smoked his ass when he came to my place at week 14. But after he won 3 more games without fucking Kendrick, so.
Yeah, 11 touchdowns.
So not bad. Whatever he's fucking got going on right now is working out. And all that 10-6 with a rookie quarterback, that's fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then we go down to Fort Wayne. I know you made a comment about his running backs, by the way. Look at his 2 running backs. What they did in Fort Wayne.
Yep.
No, plus all 5 of his O-line made the Pro Bowl.
Yes,
I thought all 5 made first team, too. He said only 4 of them made first team, but all 5 made the Pro Bowl. Holy crap. But again, talking with Chris again, a testament to, hey, you can win running the ball. You just have to have a really good O-line and a really good defense and a quarterback that won't fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And he proved it, man. Obviously didn't make the playoffs, but still.
And then you had San Antonio coming up in the rear, which that one was a shocker. I know Chris probably was shocked about his team. He doesn't know what was going on with his team, right? Since you've been talking to him, Grim?
Oh, yeah. No, I talk to him every night about fucking shit. But Sochi got injured at the end of the year, so that was the end of that.
But he wasn't playing good in the beginning of the year for him.
Nope, he's tried everything. And he's trying to run more, too. So he picked up another rookie, and your rookie blew him out of the water. But yeah, Socha just missed the last 5 games, and that was the end. After Socha's, it's like kind of, if you have Peyton Manning on your team, know, if he's injured, you're fucked.
Who did he give? He gave Arizona a first-round pick, but what did he get for him?
He got that, let me see, Carlton Sellers. No. Yes, Carlton Sellers, guard.
Oh, so you got a guard. That's right. Okay.
Yep, who played all right this year, but, if you get a rookie running back, you're going to want to start building your O-line, so. But, I think he's going to be just fine.
Oh, just running back?
He's going to be fine. Yep.
Absolutely.
He's got a little bit less endurance than Newtile does, but.
Absolutely. And now we jump to the final, AC North, Toronto.
Disgusting.
80 fucking touchdowns this year.
Come on, T-Zach couldn't score 700 points this year. That's just embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Look at this.
Yeah, he has
only 695 points.
Look at this quarterback. almost 7,400 yards, 8.88 yards per attempt, 70 touchdowns to 20 interceptions. It is sickening. His quarterback also ran for 5.36 and another 5 more touchdowns. So he had 75 touchdowns as quarterback. He put up 43 points per game. Go ahead.
Go to his backup quarterback and how many touchdowns did he have?
Yeah.
Right, because at some point Miguel Mott got substituted out.
Because they were scoring too much. He didn't get injured. It's like we're 40 points ahead. You go in there, kid. And this guy,
his backup quarterback put up 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. His backup quarterback,
look how tall he is.
Barely was on the field. Put up more touchdowns almost than most quarterbacks in our league. Think about that.
God. No, it's insane what T-Tech's doing. What, he scored 81 points this year?
And you're talking about trying to win a division in Ben's league. In Ben's division.
I can't even imagine what Bob's going to be up against here. Like I said, I think
guys,
everyone's kind of praying that T-Zach gets busy again and has to sit out a few seasons.
You know the best thing about Tucker and Toronto?
What's that?
They're in the same conference.
They're in the other conference than we are.
Conference, yes.
Absolutely.
We ain't got to fucking deal with them but maybe once every 4 years, unless we make the bowl.
Absolutely. Howie, what you just said, absolutely. I know right now, Red Zone's breaking his computer. 695 points. What did he do again? 695. Wow.
Yeah.
And then following up is Rochester at 7-9. That is Rob. He still is trying to get his quarterback, basically. He's putting the pieces together. I know he picked up a good wide receiver, that rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, he got Charles Williams. He's going to be great, so that's a stepping stone. Plus, he's got that Phil Lucart kid. He's in his 5th season. Looks all right. But Reginald Tyler started for him this year. It didn't play terrible. I mean, he had 64% completion, 3,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Okay.
Almost 30 sacks.
Imagine when he gets a really good quarterback, what he's going to do. So it seems like he's just biding time until he gets that player. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of building up his O-line a little bit. Defense is relatively, well, he's got some older secondary. Got James Pinson for the cornerback. Yeah, he's working it. But again, how much time does Rob have for this league when he's running his own league and working and going to school and doing all the shit that he fucking does, you know?
And then you got North Plainfield, who is, he had a good defense this season, only 21 points he allowed. However, he's at 6-10. He hasn't gone over that hump for a few years now. Well, more than a few years.
Yeah, it looks like Whitman could be the quarterback of the future, but then you got to keep him after he starts for a couple seasons. Yeah, North Plainfield just hasn't been the same for a while. Still kind of a scary defense, but not nearly as scary as it fucking used to be.
Good running game. 4.28 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns.
Yeah. Andre Devine's a stud, so...
5th season, but he's getting old. He's 28 years old. By the time his team gets mature, he's going to be gone.
He'll be on his last legs, yep. He'll be 30 by the time they get a quarterback in there to play some shit.
How would you like to have a running back like this? Yes?
I love that guy, yeah.
Yep, I love Devine.
And then we jump up to Red Zone.
All right, so...
I don't know what happened to him, but go ahead.
No, I didn't address nothing publicly when it was going on, but whoever fucking tried to snitch on Bob for trying to tank because he wasn't starting Wilkerson. It's like, that's ignorant. That means you don't go to the forums and see what Bob says every fucking day. I mean, we know him personally now. He's our fucking friend. But if you're going to go snitch to Ben that he's trying to fucking tank, you don't fucking know the guy. You don't read his posts in the forums. This guy doesn't like losing as much as the rest of us. We talked to him in our group text. He's trying different game plans. He's like, I just spent fucking 4 hours here trying to fucking game plan again. He's up all fucking night trying to change his shit. If I had a 70 rated quarterback or what's Wilkerson, 53 rated quarterback that wasn't playing well, I'm going to start someone else. And look, he started someone else and fucking won a couple games. So I just wanted to address that real quickly and say, hey man, Bob, I'm with you. You should have been on the show tonight. And whoever called him out for that, don't know shit about him. He's one of the most competitive GMs that I've ever fucking met, and he fucking hates losing worse than I think all three of us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have to agree on that one. He does hate losing. And if someone wants to tank, and I said this before, you just have to change your game plan to be a shitty game plan.
Yep.
You can leave all the stars in on your team. If you just change your game plan to the shittiest game plan, that's the easiest way to tank. So changing out a player is you trying to find, maybe this player is better than the one I have right now playing.
Yep.
Well, the only GM that has been removed from the league in my tenure was the Harlem GM, and it was for tanking. And he had like he ran the quarterback like 500 times.
Yep, and that was, 10 seasons ago?
Yeah, 10, 15 seasons ago.
Yep.
Where the game plan was like it was clearly evident he was not putting forth an effort. He was just running.
No, and
QB.
that's something you want to pay attention to, guys doing shit like that, because they can start all the great players they want to, but if you put in the game plan like that and potentially lose, you're out. But Bob ain't fucking doing that, man.
No. He's
hard fucking core GM, wants the best team, wants to be better all the fucking time. We talked to him all the fucking I thought the whole thing was fucking bullshit. And
right. I mean, and we talk on this show all the time about 28 rated quarterbacks being able to do this, and 30 rated quarterbacks being able to do that. Like, if you're struggling and you're not, and the quarterback you have isn't doing it, and you have somebody else, why not give it a try? That's not tanking. That's trying to come up with something to make something work.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And he actually won. Is that his schedule up there? Kent Figures. When he put Kent Figures in, he actually won 2 games in a row. And then he got bitched at and put back in Wilkerson, who ended up being okay the last 5 games of the season, but it's like, fuck.
Kent Figures was on my team for a season.
Yep.
And the only reason why I didn't start him is because Dan Davis had a slightly higher avoid interception rating.
Hey, pull up Figures too, Clay.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to bitch between a 53 rated guy and a going to be 40 rated guy? I mean.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
And that's what I'm going to say about the tanking thing. It's more about the game plan. If someone's going to tank, they're going to change their game plan. They're going to do, like you just said, Howie, run that quarterback 500 times, or do 104, what is it called? The formation, and do only just that. Changing a player is more about, let's see if this player is better, or let's see if this player can work.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, and when he put Figures in, he sparked it. It was no different than last season when Christensen got injured, my kid, and I had to start Michelli. Well, Michelli started playing good, and he's worse rated than Christensen. He was like 19 rated last year, Michelli. It's like, well, fuck. How come no one called me out for that? I'm starting Michelli, but I'm winning games. So it's like, unless you see something really fucking intentional, gentlemen, don't PM Ben. Don't bother him with this shit. Everybody knows Bob's not fucking tanking. So, but outside of that, we can talk about his team now. think he needs to do better. Fields had a great fucking year. His wide receiver.
Yeah, he did.
Was that
actually.
his best season? 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Let's get rid of this. Let's bring up Fields. Yeah, it seems like it is his best season. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a shocker for me that he fell to where he did.
Yeah, with how Wilkerson played last year, I didn't think it was going to happen, but sometimes shit just does. I think he turned away from fucking Marsh too much. I mean, Sean Marsh is running back. Elite style. Had 1 touchdown.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, he's got to get going. I mean, this was a really bad season for fucking Marsh.
His team put up, his defense gave up 27 points per game. His offense put up 17 points per game. I know in the very beginning he was complaining about that. Like we said, he was fixing his game plan. He's like, I don't know why I'm not putting up any points. It was just awful.
No, I mean, even if you got like the 2 guys, like Marsh and Fields, you should be able to put up fucking 25 points a game with those 2, you know?
Well, that is it, fellas. We went through both conferences. Tomorrow we have Howie playing you.
Pull up the games. Let's call them.
You can call them very easily. We'll just pull up yours right here.
No, let's not do. Let's start with Atlanta and Gotham. I don't want to do mine first. I need some time to think.
All right. We'll do that.
Hit up the preview.
Here we go. Come on. All right. Atlanta's going to Gothenburg.
Oh, I'm going with the Giants on this one.
What's the score?
Ooh.
Gothenburg's got the spread by 1, dudes. By 1 fucking point. Really? We need to take another look at Atlanta. Let's see.
The game?
23-21.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Will Meadows kid, he's a rookie. I think he's going to fail. Clay, what say you?
I have Gutenberg winning 17-14 over Atlanta.
Really? That low, huh?
Mm-hmm. That low.
I'm going to take Julio with the smash, fucking 30-20.
Okay. All right. We're going to go now to Augusta is going to Houston. This is going to be a good game. Now, remember, I don't think Augusta has his quarterback. I don't think Banks is healthy.
Oh, is he injured?
Let's go look. Oh, he's back.
No, he's back. He's back for this game. Oh, man. That Augusta fucking offense is a little too... I don't want to even call them inconsistent, but for the number 1 defense in the fucking league, they might be a little too inconsistent for that. But I don't see Houston scoring, so Augusta's defense is really going to need to fucking show up here.
I need to see something. What did Augusta do the last couple of games?
They lost to Tucker. But win. They already lost to Houston. At Houston, 17-14. Ooh. $13-10 versus Chicago.
Grim, are you going to pick the game or are we going to go to sleep here?
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Hello? Am I here?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm just look. You're the one that pulled up his fucking schedule to see what the hell he was doing.
Squirrel.
Go ahead, Howie. While he's thinking.
Augusta's getting a bounce back game on this one, and they're going to win 24-17. No, 24-14. 24-14.
Man, all right. hoping Banks can pull this off. That defense is going to be hard. I'm going to go Augusta 17-14.
Banks coming back. It's going to be a little rusty. I'm going to go 20-17 Augusta. 20-17 Augusta.
But now, is there any proof that they're rusty, Clay?
Is there any
Because
proof?
no, there's no proof that he's rusty coming off an injury. It doesn't say he's like, rusty or anything. Just like Jugs is talking about, he doesn't want to start Kornick because he doesn't know how he's going to play coming off an injury all season.
I'm creating a story.
Right.
So, 20-17 Augusta, but Banks going to be a little rusty.
All right.
Now we go into Kansas, going to Oakland. Oh, I love playing games like this. Howie, you want to go first?
Sure. Oh, I'm going to say Kansas is going to pull this one off. It's going to be 28-24.
Didn't you lose to him already, though, Clay?
Yeah, 38-30. It's one of those shootout games.
And you're back at his place for another shootout. And
28
that was without Kornick. He didn't even have Kornick for that game.
Exactly.
Fuck. What's your defense doing? We're 18, 24. 35-30, Oakland wins. I want you to win, Clay. I want it to be a shootout, be a great game, but I want you to win. But I think Jug's going to pull it off. 35-30.
Okay. I'm also going to say 35-30, but us taking that.
Oh, sweet.
And then we go to the last game. Williamsburg is going to Texas. I will call it first, since it's your game. Everything gets reset, but Howie's just been dominating, so I'm going to pick Howie at 28 to 14. 28.
Damn it, Clay. I want a high-flying game.
Hold on. Let me
that
back up.
shit.
No.
28 to
you
14.
You just put up 400 and something points. It's going to be 28-27. Yeah, 28-27.
I was going to say, me and Howie tore up our last two games. I think he did a little better, though, because he was away.
I forgot that you put up a lot of points this season. 28-27. That's what it's going to be. That I'm calling. Grim, you can go next.
You fucker. Well, I'm taking Howie. I just fingers crossed that you don't fucking whoop me. Like I said, we all get embarrassed when we play each other and get whooped. So we try to keep the games close, I guess. I don't know. I'm thinking of fucking kind of a score like that. I would love to. Wow, what's the temperature over there, though?
Yeah, what is the temperature? 65 degrees. No.
See,
Yeah, 65 degrees.
We're the warmest at all. No wind.
No
So
wind.
the ground
God bless
game can get
Texas.
go. Yeah. Can get the ground game going again.
Can't
Wind
complain about wind, the quarterback
Wind
throwing.
won't affect my shitty passer. Oh, man.
I hope
go
they're all
fucking-
good games, by the way. But go ahead.
I do too. I don't want anyone to get blown out, and I fucking hate seeing it, especially in the playoffs. Okay, I got Howie 35. Well, no. So I'm going to stop one touchdown. So 31, 34, 2 field goals. 34-31. It's going to get me in overtime.
Ooh,
All right.
I like that.
I do too.
I
That's what
have
I'm
two.
hoping for.
I have two predictions here.
Go ahead.
I'm either going to win this game 38-10, or I'm going to lose this game 24-13.
What? Wow. Jesus Christ, dude. All right. I hope neither one of those happens because those are terrible games. That's like The 38-10 game would be great for you to watch, but that's going to be shit for me to watch.
I mean, just look at, and the only reason why I say 38 is look at my schedule. Look at what I've done this year.
Let me go.
Like 38 points seems to be my average, right? Like
If it was, but what were your shitty games?
38-3, 38-10, 45, 35, 24, and then I lost.
Oh, that's right. You scored 490. You scored more points than me this year, too.
Right.
Fuck.
Moontown 38-38 tie, 38-7. So,
Yes.
we'll see.
Jesus, 38-10.
Yeah. You know what's?
That's the only thing sticking in my mind, Howie. I already forgot about my winning one.
Howie, we're going to
Yeah.
see this on the forum. Grim's going to type up there. I started watching the game. I got pissed off. I shut off the game. That's
Yep.
exactly what you always say, right?
Pretty much. Then oftentimes, like, pull
You
up the
win.
shit and I won.
Exactly. You win at the end, but you already shut it off.
Yep. Yeah, I got to stop doing that. Sometimes I got to have more faith in my team and stick through, but sometimes it's just like you're so pissed off that you're just like, fuck this.
Exactly.
I'm going to look at the box score. Fuck this game.
Yeah, because you can be a second
Like,
half
oh,
team.
I won. Yeah.
Because you
But
can
I'm
be
not a
half-
second half team. But all of a sudden, this season, I seem to be doing better in the second half than I do in the first. So I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Ah, good shit, gentlemen.
Yes. That was
Hey.
good.
It'll be fun or it won't be, right?
So you guys going to watch the game, or are you going to look at the score?
Oh, I'll watch the game. Got to watch the playoff game.
Yeah, I'll go to that non-spoiler link and read that mid-morning.
Is that even available?
Yeah,
Is it pinned again?
it's not pinned, but it's there. You just gotta go down and find it.
All right. So yeah, I don't have that, but I'm going to try to watch the Soul Division tomorrow morning if I'm not super busy. So
Well, I was glad I was able to jump on this weekend. I just stayed home. Been spending too much money on the dating scene.
yeah. Calm down.
It costs
swear-
me, guys.
You know, it's
Costs
your,
me between $500 to $700 a night.
Yeah.
It's out of control dating.
It's getting the winter time too. Hold up. Or Clay, you could just pick one.
One what?
Mhm.
Woman? No, come on.
Yeah.
Stop. It's not gonna happen.
I know.
Each
I know.
woman gives me something that the other one doesn't give me. So I enjoy each different one.
Well, it's a little too late for you to settle down and have kids now, so have fun.
I will.
But yeah, it was funny
But I
fucking
will-
Howie texting. Was Clay's out on one of his fancy dates? It's like
No, having a Clay's out having a fabulous time with fabulous people.
people. Yep.
I'm
No,
gonna have a fabulous time waking up, opening up IHOF, and seeing that I won 35-30.
That would be good. I just like them to all be shootouts and exciting games. 'Cause again, there's nothing worse in the playoffs if someone just gets fucking destroyed.
I know.
It's not like I had some injuries early and my defense kind of took a while, but had injuries on a defense, settled down a little bit. I know what 8-7-1, I probably should get my ass kicked by Howie, but I'm really hoping we can put up a good game.
This is why I like enjoying all the games. Because let's say you do make it to the playoffs and you didn't enjoy the rest of the games before that, and then you get blown out in the playoffs, it doesn't feel like you enjoyed the season.
No.
I'll say.
No, that's something else I thought about too, thinking about the Bob situation and him not wanting to lose. I think out of all of us, Clay, you take losing a little bit better than the rest of us. Like your 5-11 season when you won the division,
Oh, that's 6-10. Yeah, 6-10.
or 6-10, whatever the
Yes.
fuck it was. But you
It's
were
terrible.
I mean, but you take losses a lot better than the rest of you. You're like, hey, this is a great competitive game. I'll be like, get in there and like, this is fucked. I fucking intercepted your first thing, and then 3 plays later, I fumbled. You got a touchdown. I shut the fucking game off. Then Lloyd will be like, yeah, sorry, man. Game goes like that sometimes. I hate this game too. But Clay's always like pleasant about it. He's pleasant about his losing.
I try to find what good things I can take with me the next season that I can build on,
Or the next
and
game.
or the next game, and that's why I hate it. Don't get me wrong. However, yeah, it doesn't affect me as hard as like Red Zone wants to throw his computer out
Yeah.
the window.
Oh yeah, no, I don't get that mad. I mean, sure, some games are more important than others. So like, you can wake up in the morning and you got to work and do whatever, and then you lost. You lost your game, and it's like, does your day get shittier a little bit? Yeah, I got like about 15 minutes where I'll just like fucking go out and have a smoke and stew. Is like, fuck, God, fuck. Okay, let me get this out, and then I'll go post in the forum. Hey, good game. Like this, that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I just think Clay, your demeanor is a little bit better as far as losing. And then Howie can't say shit because he ain't lost any games in like 2 seasons. So fuck off.
Yeah, well, whatever. The the only game that I ever lost that bothered me all day was the bowl game I lost against T-Zac. That's the only one.
Was
Well,
it?
I could see that.
Was it a close one? They lost by like.
Yeah, it was. It was a close one. My running game couldn't do a single thing. I had a chance to win it at the end and like turn the ball over on 4th down or something. It was horse shit. I still get mad about it.
That wasn't at Toronto either. That was when he was at Kansas, right?
No, that was Toronto.
Oh no, was it Toronto?
Yeah, it was one of his earlier seasons there.
What bothers me more in the losing part is getting blown out. Losing in
Yes.
like overtime and stuff, it was a competitive game. I don't mind that. It's when you get blown out and you're like, what the fuck just happened? That
Yeah, no,
bothers
and
me the most.
I had a couple of those games this season where it's just like, fuck, but dude, I've always just loved the games where you stay close. I can deal with that. But yes, getting blown out sucks ass.
All right, fellas.
All right, boys.
We'll end it here. Thanks for coming on. Always love hanging out with you guys.
It was fun.
Yes, we need more. And Howie, at the beginning of the show, I was going to say there's only
It was-
3 of
hold on.
us.
It
Go ahead.
was when he was with Fort Wayne,
Okay.
not
All right.
Toronto. Fort Wayne, 2103, 17-14.
That's what he beat you by?
Yeah.
Jesus. What a boring fucking bowl.
I can see that, yeah, bothering you.
But I'm sorry, Grim. What were you saying?
Now I don't remember because I'm getting old. I think I'm older than you because you still have young children and mine are grown up.
Yeah.
All
Fair.
right, then. Then we'll end it
Anyways, good luck tomorrow, gentlemen, except for you,
Yeah.
Howie.
I
So
don't
that
believe in
means
luck.
gentleman.
There's no such thing as luck.
Yeah. Clay, good luck tomorrow. Grim, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm going to do that right now because you said I should. All right, later, boys.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Get out. Get out.
Night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.